Yo, check it.
Welcome back to another podcast episode. My name is JERiCK.
My name is Rafi.
My name is Brandon.
We got a guest today. His name is Brandon.
What up?
Hey, yeah, first timer on the podcast, guys.
First time, never
on Yo
been
Check
on it, listened to it a few times, and now it's cool that I'm here. So,
You want to do a quick introduction on who Brandon is?
Brandon is my roommate. He's also one of my best friends. He's like a little brother to me, basically. Like, I'm like his bad influence, big brother in a way.
He's terrible. He's terrible.
So yeah, he's an amazing. He's one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. Like literally ever, and he's also a great reggaeton teacher.
Working on it. Always working.
Yeah, cool.
Say
Cool
something about
introduction, bro.
yourself, man.
Just a little bit about myself. Yeah, I mean, I dance. I do different styles. I teach reggaeton, and then on top of that, I also do like hip hop classes and contemporary and even heels. I try and get in those different styles and kind of learn different things. I'm also trying to get more into photography. He's really the guy that I should probably go to for advice, but just trying to get more experience there and kind of define my own art, my own style in that way too. And then just kind of doing other stuff on the side, just really trying to push myself to start making something that I want to share with people. So I've just kind of been working on that and developing something, and I don't want to say too much right now, but it's kind of just been a work in progress, and I just want to keep it low key so that, yeah.
I feel like we're always work in progress.
It is.
You should be constantly working on yourself.
Yeah,
There's
which
always
is a good transition to today's topic.
Yep. Yeah, I was just about to
is
say
actually.
that.
Yeah. So today's topic is working on yourself. What does that mean to you guys? Like, especially these days that
It's a weird time.
it's a weird time for everybody. There's a lot of people that are in quarantine, isolation.
transitioning from
Yeah.
one thing to
Yeah, it's just a lot. I mean, I guess for myself, working on myself is just really taking time to do things that I enjoy, honestly. Especially with this quarantine going on, it's kind of been just funny, and things have been different, shifting from being employed to not being employed right now. But it's also been a really good opportunity to take time and actually start working on stuff that I haven't been working on and like putting on the back burner. I guess just kind of like a little bit getting into what I was saying earlier, I've just been kind of working on something in terms of just fitness and just trying to get my feet up as a trainer. And so I'm really using this time off of my current 9-to-5 job just to really work on that and actually develop it, because fitness has become a really important part of my my own personal journey in my life. It's given me a really good relationship and with my body and my mind, and it's given me a lot of like body love, which helps me be more confident in myself. So because of that, I kind of wanted to develop that into something in a way where I can teach others to kind of go along that path too, and just be more connected between their mind and their body, and really enjoy the body that they're living in. And fitness and nutrition is a very important part. Obviously, there's more to it in terms of life. There's a lot of different parts of life, but fitness and just taking care of, the body that you're living in has been very important. So, yeah, that's just one of the main things that I've been working on. But just working on myself is just in all different aspects, looking inside and really digging and seeing things that I haven't seen before, and really putting my attention towards it,
Did you ever always feel like that working on yourself, like physically, was that always been a thing to you, or just kind of stumbled upon it just recently? Because like some people are like, oh, fitness is not that important, and then like something happens,
turn
and
the
then
page.
like, okay,
Yeah, turn the page.
I kind of like this now.
Yeah.
Because I didn't necessarily like fitness until I grew a little bit older. So I wasn't really into like exercising, working out.
Yeah.
I feel like I've always been kind of like typical average weight, so I wasn't necessarily struggling become like being overweight or being too skinny. I was just kind of like the average guy. But I think when I turned 27, that's when I was like, okay, like maybe I should focus a little bit more on myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because especially when you get older too, it's just things start to
start to
ache.
take things a little seriously.
Yeah, you start to realize you need to take more care of yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's been kind of a longer journey. Not super long. Maybe about like 2 years ago, I started really getting serious about it because I started thinking about like I really have always wanted to be a certain physique. I never wanted to be like super big or anything, but just really kind of encompassing like a nice physique is something that me just mentally would help me be connected with myself. I mean, I grew up. It was just a whole different journey. I mean, just part of my journey was realizing that I'm trans, and so a big part of that is feeling weird when it comes to my body. And for so many years, it was hard for me to realize what I wanted to do with myself. And this kind of goes along with the topic of working on yourself. And for so many years, just growing up in high school and college, I didn't really take care of myself mentally or physically. I wasn't like doing anything super extreme, but I just wasn't paying attention to what I needed to do for myself. And once things started clearing up and I started figuring out what I needed to do, which was, medically transitioning and booking surgeries for myself just so I could feel more at home in my body, really helped things out. And then just fitness became a way for me to feel even more within myself,
Kind of continue along the same frequency of
Exactly.
where
And
you were
so
heading.
now, instead of having this disconnect between my mind and my body, everything's starting to get a little closer to each other.
Everything's more aligned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's just really important. I mean, if you're starting to feel more aligned with yourself, it just life is just more enjoyable.
Yeah.
You're living your truth and you're
You
doing
see
what you
things
want
clearer. You feel like you see things clearer. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like everything makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of in that sense, that's why fitness has become so important to me. And, I know a lot of people might not feel as motivated, but they do have dreams and goals. And if I can, I don't know, I just feel like if I can motivate myself, I feel like I can also help other people with that same journey. It might not be the exact same journey as mine, but in terms of just reaching that alignment between the mind and the body is something that I really want to help teach others.
Yeah, I think-
Sort of like a spiritual awakening and light.
Exactly.
Yep.
And yeah, taking that kind of spiritual awakening past just spirituality and bringing it into physical
Yeah.
and mental
It's
and
all
emotional
connected,
and
so
everything.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
trying to do that.
Yeah, because that's the reason why I started this podcast is because I feel like I had a lot of experiences and like knowledge, not necessarily like being an expert in life, but like I know a little bit, I know a little bit, I know stuff. So
Yeah.
It's like wisdom, just life
yeah.
wisdom. Yeah.
And a lot of it is like learning from my mistakes and like past experiences and just being able to share it to everybody that like I don't know like how many people would listen to this, maybe just one person would like it would hit it for them,
Exactly.
like that's all it takes, man.
Yeah. If it hits one person, that's huge already.
Yeah. It's always like just making an impact.
Even if like 500 people see this and it really changes two people's lives. Like that's huge. Bro.
Yeah.
That's huge. Yeah. I agree.
How about you, Raph? What are you working on, man?
I feel like there's so many. I'm one of those, like I feel like it's constant for me. I feel like I'm constantly fighting my own demons because I'm also somewhat creating some of my own demons, but it's like a constant like, okay, I can't beat myself up too much, but I also can't just completely take the foot off the gas. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like life for me is like a boxing match. Sometimes you jab, you stay at the right distance, and then if there's an opportunity, you strike. I feel like I kind of view it that way.
Yeah.
Where it's and in a boxing match, you don't always win. You don't always like leave the match unscathed. Sometimes you take a few hits, and sometimes the L is taking that. Like learning how to take an L is sort of like a really strong character builder because before this quarantine, I was almost didn't have a job. You know what I mean? Remember when I got fired?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like going through the weirdest period. And then, so all of a sudden everyone's in quarantine, but the job I have is considered essential. You know what I mean? Like it's just, is weird how things happen. And I don't know, like I feel like working on myself is like constantly finding ways to keep rolling with the punches. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. Like no one knew this Corona thing was gonna happen. You know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
like some serious conspiracy heads was ahead of the game, which is fine. But still, the time that we lived in, we've never experienced anything like this.
Yeah.
No one. You know what I'm saying? Like, so. Yeah, I think like it's constantly like I'm telling myself have more positive thoughts or think about more inspirational things. Think less worries, which is like I'm an overthinker, so it's like every 5 seconds there's like a worry in my head. So yeah, I kind of just it's a constant battle for me, man.
Yeah, for me, like this quarantine times, working on myself is just it gave me a lot more time to do the things that I've always enjoyed, you know, like singing, making
Yeah.
videos,
Yeah, we see a lot more singing videos.
and a lot more covers, man.
That's good.
I used to do it back in the day when YouTube first started, but I never really like kind of just like, you know, fell off. But now that I have a little bit more time, I have more time to put into that. Because like if this quarantine didn't happen, like obviously I would still be working, and like, you know, those hours is gonna take from my hobbies and passion.
Yeah.
But now that I have all this free time, might as well do all this. I've been doing a lot of YouTube videos, covers.
Just killing it pretty much.
Yeah,
This dude's like editing all day.
pretty
For
much.
you check it fans, just look at the daily content you guys are seeing. Those are, and like, dude, sometimes we shoot for hours, and you guys are seeing like an edited version of minutes that
Yeah, that's true.
he's captured, but we shoot for hours, just so you guys know. So like him going through all that footage, chopping shit up, adding effects, like, bruh, I've done some editing, probably not on that level, and like the basic editing that I ever did was just, it took up like hours of my time, so I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for whoever's listening, whoever's watching, like in this times, like what are you doing to improve yourself? Comment down below, or if you're just listening to a podcast, just think about it. Just have it in your head, be like, am I doing anything to improve myself? Or I don't know, maybe if you're just kind of like chilling, trying to enjoy your free time, like that's cool too.
Or
you know?
maybe you're trying to figure out what it is that you want to better about yourself.
Yeah, because I
Sometimes-
think
Yeah.
this time now that we have kind of like, this is a weird time to be.
you don't have a choice. You have to self-reflect. You can
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
you can only watch so much Netflix. You can only YouTube so much. You know what I mean?
And I
Like,
think that it's just kind of like a good world reset. Like, to be
Yeah.
honest, like as bad as it sounds, as bad as like a lot of people are being sick or dying, like this is like the time to really kind of like reflect on things and be like, hey, what am I doing with my life? Just be like focused on yourself.
Yeah.
Like, don't even think about everybody else. Just
on the topic of working on yourself and sort of what you were saying earlier, like spiritual awakening, we live in a world and a society where almost everything we do is set up for us to look externally, right? Everything is like an external distraction. This is external. This is
Everything,
not
yeah.
within. You know what I mean? Like
It's true.
lights, cameras,
yeah,
TV shows, shit on the news, shit on the street, shit at work. So we literally are living in a world where everything is pulling us externally, and in my opinion, a form of working on yourself is trying to look within. Right? As I've grown older, I've become less and less religious, which I wouldn't never consider myself religious, but being that I grew up in a Catholic school, because that's what kids in the Philippines do, they grow up going to Catholic school, you know,
Yeah.
like as a big part of your life. But I've gotten to realize, at least for me in my experience, that most of your answers, or at least like the biggest questions and the biggest answers I've had, was always answered within. It's about trusting your intuition, listening to your own wisdom. And, you know, it takes a while. You don't just listen to yourself and think, oh, you know what? Like, I know that's right. Like, most people question it, you know, and it's a process to get there. But when you're able to tune in a little bit easier, you're able to find that answer maybe sooner than you used to. You know what I'm saying? Like things click a lot faster. Maybe you have the same worries, but they don't quite linger because more things start to make sense and you're able to like maneuver yourself out of that situation or whatever.
So like pretty much in a sense, you're kind of like saying you're like training your mind to be stronger.
Yeah.
Just
You kind of have to in this world that we live in, bro. Like I'm saying, like so much of what we're surrounded pulls you away from yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yourself and your own thoughts.
Because
Like,
there's a lot of pressure, you know, like society always puts that pressure on you. Because I think we kind of just grew up that way, but like, hey, like there's like, especially when it comes to like career and success, there's like a little like threshold, be like, if you're not making this much, like you're not successful.
like
It's
everyone
one-
feels like there's a standard.
Yeah, there's a like a certain like society standards where everybody's trying to live up to, but then like when you actually have like a very strong mental mind, like you don't really give a fuck about everything else.
Right.
And I think that's for me. I want everybody to achieve that because it's so like liberating when you don't have to worry about what everybody else thinks about you or what everybody thinks about what you're doing.
Yeah, because at that point, I feel like you're just living your truth. You're living your truth 100% the way you feel it's supposed to be, and when you have no doubt in that, no one can really get to you or through you in any way.
Yeah.
Because you're just so
You've
confident
embraced
about
it. Yeah.
Exactly. You're embracing who you are completely, and you're living exactly how you feel like you're supposed to live. And if no one can tell you otherwise, then it's like there's no point in even worrying about reactions at that point or what people think about you or what they think about what you're doing.
So I don't know. It's for you guys that maybe follow me on Instagram, like you'll know, or maybe if you've been my friend for a long time, you probably kind of noticed that I've gotten more, I don't want to say vocal, but I'm starting to open up more and share more stuff about, like, some people will label it conspiracy, some people will label it truth, some people will label it free thinking, whatever you want to label that. I have gotten to a place where I feel the need to share stuff like that. And, you know, I've noticed over time more and more people are starting to interact and say, and, you know, just talk to me about this stuff. And some of them are interested. Some of them want to learn more. Some of them help me or teach me stuff that I don't know. You know, some of them like, hey, you should check this out too. And then, you know, we discuss more things. And then there's always a few that are skeptical and just want to talk shit, which I try to be respectful. And, you know, like, we can agree to disagree, but I think I just try to put good energy out with whatever it is I'm responding with.
At the end of the day, it's all about intention, you know, whatever your intent is.
Yeah.
Like it's just how it is. Like if you're posting all that kind of stuff online and your intent was to try to wake somebody up, like even if somebody was talking shit to you, like you could just
that,
you know,
it's a little bit, it's that plus if this somehow makes somebody else realize that they're not alone and that there's other people that think like them.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a way for them to like really embrace that side of them, because that's what it took for me. You know, like I know some friends look at me weird. I know there's people that go on my stories and like, what is he talking about? Like, why is he sharing this? You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, like I had to have grown like an abrasive side and embrace some of that heat, because if I'm sharing that stuff, I have to be able to take that heat that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I have to be okay with my own family looking at me thinking that I'm crazy, which what else is new? So like, you just get to that point, you know, but I'm a lot happier, right? Maybe people around me are uncomfortable, but I myself, I'm free. I'm liberated mentally. My mind is liberated.
Yeah. And then this comes back to like being really strong mentally. Like, you don't really care about what everybody else thinks, you know? And like when you get to that point, it's just so good. Yeah.
Because you're just in your comfort zone. Like anything you do is just, you don't have other thoughts that are distracting you. You know what I mean? Like,
or you're just not even worried at that point. Right. You're literally just doing your own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like, you know, I post a lot of YouTube videos and then, obviously, I get a lot of like great comments. You know, people are like, "Yeah, this is great, and then there's like that one comment, couple comments, be like, "This sucks. You guys are boring. Yeah. You guys need to like." People are just talking shit online, and like it's a little annoying. But then in my mind, I'm just kind of like,
Okay.
okay. I mean,
Just-
like sometimes they have a point, you know, and
That's heated.
We
I
were-
mean, like,
we were talking about this. I feel like one time we were hiking and you said something that was hella funny, but it's true. But do you know like what kind of person you have to be to like sit on YouTube,
yeah,
actually dislike a video, leave a nasty comment, and expect for
like
that?
take
yeah,
the time.
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Like, how sad is your life where you're just kind of getting mad at a YouTube video?
Yeah.
You know, like.
Most people when they, like you just hit that back button. You
Yeah,
don't
like,
even bother to
hey,
like
for me,
dislike
like,
it.
yeah, for me, it's like when I
literally.
don't like a video, I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm out of here. Like, I'm not
just
gonna
leave
leave
it.
a bad
Yeah.
Just remove
comment. I'm
yourself
not.
from it.
I'm not. I don't even have time to dislike, dude. I
It's
just
another.
gotta-
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. It's another level to really hit that dislike button. You couldn't just hit back, bro. Like you
Yeah.
literally had time to like dislike this person's.
And it's funny too, because like I'm just kind of ranting right now, but like you, sometimes I would get a dislike in like the first hour of the video. I mean, obviously I get like a shit ton of likes, so it's like it kind of, you know,
Yeah.
the dislike doesn't even matter. But like, so you're clearly a subscriber unless you just like
Yeah.
found this video within the hour I posted it. You know, like
Yeah.
it's clearly on your radar the entire time, and then I just get like a random dislikes here and there. But I mean, it is what it is, you know.
That's how you. But if you're doing something right, you're gonna get dislikes. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
So
if you're not getting any haters, dude, then I
you're
don't
not.
know.
Yeah,
you're not doing it right.
Exactly. Literally, that's true, bro. Literally, that's
It's like,
true.
as sad as that sounds, it's
It's
just
true.
kind of like
It's true.
nobody's jealous of your success or nobody's jealous of
Yeah.
what you're doing. You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a thing. Whether you're whatever art you like, whatever form of media, like that's
Yeah.
how it is, bro.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's inevitable. But it makes you stronger too.
yeah,
It's just you think about what you filter out what you need to focus on and what you don't need to focus on, and that kind of goes back to the whole like, what do I really need to take my time to and use it on
Yeah.
when it comes to working on myself.
So, when it comes to working on yourself mentally, what do you guys do? Like, let's give out some tactics on to like to the people that who are listening. You know, like,
Sorry, I just feel
instead
like
of just
people
kind of
are,
like
you know-
giving them like metaphors and like, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like actually giving.
actual tools.
Yeah.
we can,
For me, I like to listen to a lot of podcasts, because every time I listen to a podcast, I normally learn like at least a couple things that I've never really like heard of before. You know, so like I try to like when I go for walks by myself, I just listen to podcasts, and that's how I learn, or even like watch YouTube videos sometimes.
yeah,
I don't necessarily meditate all the time. I think because you know how some people like they wake up early in the morning, that's the first thing they do, meditate, or like
This guy right here.
before they go to sleep they meditate.
yeah.
That's how I'm trying to be like
And
him,
I know that works for a lot of people, and like I'm not doubting it. You know, for me, I feel like I'm always reflecting on myself, and I think that's why I don't feel the need to meditate, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like it would help if I actually kind of really sit down all the time every day, you know. But I feel like I'm pretty good mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're saying like you're pretty tuned in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, only you really know that, bro, because
Exactly.
only you can feel how aligned or how in tuned you are with yourself.
Yeah.
So
And everyone's
Yeah.
different too, so it's like
I mean, obviously I get bad days like everybody else too. You know, I feel that, you know, daily. Like I just get like, oh, negative thoughts, negative emotions. But like for the most part, I feel like I'm pretty good. What do you guys do?
well, I mean,
literally meditate.
honestly,
King
yeah,
Junior
one of the
Flex.
main things I've been doing since the quarantine started was kind of making meditation a daily practice for me. I used to do it every week, and I thought that was fine. And then I kind of realized that it's kind of something that I kind of like training my body. I kind of have to do more consistently. And so using this time that I have off, I've been trying to just kind of, do it every morning and practicing it. And it's actually really hard. I do have a hard time with it still. I'm still learning how to do it. Obviously, there's different forms of meditation. There's like the self-reflection one where, like JERiCK was saying, there's also ones where you kind of just focus on your breathing. There's ones where you focus on like visualization. So yeah, there's actually like a lot of different forms. I've kind of been doing more research on it and looking at different spiritual teachers and what they do and just kind of trying different things out myself. But the one thing that I've been sticking to like for the past week was the visualization one. So I wake up in the morning, I'll roll out my yoga mat, I'll put some pillows so I can kind of get myself up higher, because you kind of have to be in a certain position to be able to meditate for longer periods of time. And I don't meditate super long, but I just give myself time to focus during the meditation.
How long do you meditate for?
This week it's been varying from like 30 to 40 minutes.
That's pretty long. That's pretty long.
That's because I'm really trying to stay focused, because sometimes my thoughts will drift. So I have to bring it back to what I'm really focused on. But
before I can hear the keyboards already. We're not monks, okay? So no one's meditating for 3 hours on end. Like, that's amazing. We all hope to do that, but
yeah.
But
we're not monks.
That's pretty long. 30 minutes.
30 is good, bro.
It's well,
good.
I don't know. I've been trying this practice that I did a guided meditation with this spiritual teacher. His name is Dandapani, and he pretty much explains you're sitting, and then he explains that you like focus your you visualize your energy in your body, and then you pretty much just harness all the energy from all your 4 limbs into your spine, because that's kind of like the center of your entire body.
Okay.
And then you focus on some kind of idea that you have that you want to really like focus on that feeling. And in the guided meditation, he talked about courage, and I was like, okay, that's kind of been something I've been personally needing to work on. So I stuck to it, and he was pretty much just said, after you harness all your energy, he says, think about the last time that you felt really courageous, or if not, think about a TV show or a movie in where you felt that kind of
that
same emotion
connection
when that hero or that character did something courageous. And so you really like harness that, and you infuse it into the energy that you're visualizing in your spine, and then you send it back out into your body, and it's kind of like renewed
Makes
energy.
a lot of sense, bro. It makes so much sense.
And it kind of sounds crazy, but it's really cool when you really can visualize it. And I do actually, like, after I'm done meditating, feel different. It's crazy.
It makes total sense. Because,
cool,
first of all, I believe in energy. Like, I can literally feel stuff. So, like, to me, it just makes sense, because you're literally reintegrating those thoughts and those energies into your own system.
Yeah.
So makes perfect sense to me.
And in a sense, it's kind of felt like a mental training for myself, just really being like, I am capable of certain things, and I shouldn't have limiting, ideas about myself, and so just strengthening myself mentally.
Because that's how I feel like every time I listen to like a motivating podcast, like when I hear like, for example, like, I don't know, JERiCK. Have you guys ever heard of?
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah, he has pretty good podcasts, and like every time I listen to like that type of stuff, like very inspirational, I get like a really good vibes in me. Like I get really motivated, just really positive, and like just happy, just listening to that. Even though I'm just like going for a walk, listening into like podcasts, and it's kind of like, I guess it's not really meditation, but I guess it kind of does give you the same type of positive energy,
Yeah, that like renewed energy.
Yeah.
I know I say this in like damn near every like vlog we do, but honestly, like, not even, I always say hiking, but honestly, generally just being outside is like a high for me, like a natural high almost. There's something that feels so good about being able to look up, see the clouds, the sun, being able to see trees, animals, like birds, you know what I mean? Like, for me, like, that stuff that's what I consider now sacred, and that's what I understand to be sacred. So I always feel lighter when I'm outside. Like, I always feel like there's less tension, there's less of that, like, I don't want to say negative energy, but just like unnecessary distractions.
Like traffic and
Whereas if I'm outside just chilling, like at a mountaintop or some overlooking a river or whatever, a lake, it's just like all that stuff is just not even in my brain. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm in tune with nature. I'm in tune with nature's frequency. And that I feel is like therapeutic for me. Like I really, really do honestly feel that. And it's weird because, bro, when I was little, I fucking hated hiking. Every time my family was like,
Actually,
"Yo, we're going to Emerald Bay," I was like, "Fuck, I want to stay home and play video games." Like I was that kid, bro. Like,
I was kind of
that
the same
kid.
way too. When I was younger, I didn't really like going outside.
Yeah.
Especially like my early 20s, like I just wanted to stay indoors, play video games.
Yeah, dude. It's like hiking.
Yeah,
what?
like I didn't like going for walks, or like I didn't like to do anything outdoors. Like I didn't even like to go to like the beach or anything. But
It's like now that's all you
Yeah.
want to do, bro.
like now, like I actually enjoy going for walks. I'm like, this is interesting. But I think it's just different for everybody, dude. Like you like to meditate.
Bro,
I like to go
music
for walks.
I feel like music is therapeutic. Like
Yeah, music, dude. Like even though it's like everybody has their own like, they like their own genres and whatnot, but yeah, like music gives you like that good vibes, dude.
all right,
Depending on, like, what you
here's an
listen to.
example. I don't really let a lot of people see this side of me. I know you have because it's just bound to happen because we're fucking roommates. But sometimes, bro, like I just put instrumentals on, and then I just freestyle, like freestyle rap, almost just to let some creative energy out. Because we danced, right? That's our comfortable creative outlet. But like sometimes my brain wants to create, but not necessarily dance. You know what I'm saying? So like
some different.
because I listen to so much hip hop, like that's sort of like a way for me to feel more attached to that culture that I embrace, and sort of like a creative like outlet.
It's just a different way to express yourself.
Yeah,
too.
or sometimes I'll play an instrumental and literally just try to write, and like I'll rap to myself, and you'll feel good about myself. No one has to hear it. It just I'm doing it for me.
For you, yeah.
I could be in my car at a park somewhere and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, do little shit, do little things like that. I feel like things like that are so helpful to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you just gotta take that. I like to give this analogy. You just gotta take that, like those small wins, for yourself. Like
You
it
gotta
doesn't
send
have
it,
to be
bro.
like, it doesn't have to be like a big goal. Like it could just be like that one thing that one day. Like
Exactly.
I cleaned my house today, and like that's
Yeah, you don't have
Like-
to end it. You just have to send it.
yeah, exactly.
You just gotta like celebrate those little things too. You just
Yeah.
gotta be enjoying of every single thing.
Yeah, because I talked about this in a podcast before too. Like even just like making my bed, just making my bed every single day before I leave the house. Like before, like I hated doing that. My mom would always come to my room like, go clean your room, make your bed, and I would just like, no, I don't want to do any of that.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like, even if I'm just like going outside, I always make my bed, just kind of one of those things.
Here's something I realized, because you know how like ever since I got this new job, I've had a different schedule than all of the dancers, basically, right? I've realized because like I get home sometimes and hear you guys to be juiced about class, and I'm like, I feel like I was just like, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? I had that energy, and I was like, I'm sure hip hop was fun, but it couldn't have been that fun. Like, I had that energy in me, and then like later on at night, I realized, yes, they're celebrating small wins, and even though I'm a little jealous, and there's some of that energy too, I realized that they've accomplished way more by just being open to that energy.
That's
But
true. That is
by
true.
me, let's say I took that class with you guys and I wasn't as hyped. Who do you think took more away from that class at that point? Would it be you guys or me? At that point, it'd be obviously you guys, because then I'm just sitting there feeling like I didn't grow. Whereas if you guys got two moves that you were juiced about, you guys literally focused on that, and that just turned into a ball of more good energy. I realized that, bro, and I was like, oh, so I should just shut the fuck up.
I kind of wanna go off that point you just made, and like it kind of goes on like working yourself and like working on just your mentality to bring it towards more of a like positive mindset is just like focusing on those little things, whether it's like you made your bed or you got that one move in dance class, or like you one of those photos in your photo shoot was like killing it,
Okay.
or just like one of
Interjection. Can I tell you guys? Okay, so here's what happens in our household, right? Like either I'm up making a smoothie for breakfast or cooking breakfast, right? And then somebody, either you or Sierra, bust through the door and it's like, hey, it's immediately like good energy. Like literally every time someone walks in our house or whether he walks in the kitchen, it's like, hey, let's go rap.
We're
Like,
always like yelling.
those
at
are literally your first words. Like, hey, let's go rap.
Let's go rap P.
Yeah.
Or like stun to see. Like
Yeah.
it's literally just.
Yeah, we have like nicknames and shit, but it's like immediately when you see your friend, you're like, let's hype each other
just
up.
throw that
Yeah.
out there. You just throw it out there.
Nice.
It's like
I
a
love
a
that.
little boost, bro. Like, cause then you have no choice but to either smile or bust out laughing. Cause it's like,
yeah,
what else
it's
do you
like,
do?
Yeah, it's like that where you just focus on,
Yeah.
you know, it's what you put your intention and your focus on.
And I think part of like working on yourself is also don't be too hard on yourself too.
I think that's a lot of people.
And I think for me, I'm like kind of like struggling with that. Like I'm like obviously I'm kind of like more self-aware now, but because I always have like really big goals, and like when I don't reach it, I kind of like I guess like being really hard on myself, you know. And like even like, so I made like this like crazy. Well, I guess it's not too crazy, but I told myself like, oh, I was gonna reach 10,000 before 10,000 subs before my birthday. Obviously it didn't happen. I mean, I'm pretty close. It's like 400 subs, not bad.
Is it? But at that point, does it really feel that different though? Like 400 people, you basically reached
No, I
10,000
think
people already. So
For me,
So if
it
you're
was
not
just kind of
subscribe.
yeah.
For me, it was just kind of like, it was like a goal for me. Like, oh, within that week, I wanted to get like 1,000 subs, you know, because I think it was like maybe a week and a half, and I needed like 1,000 subs or something. And for me, I was just like put that goal. I was like, hey, I want to hit 10,000. So I was like kind of like busting myself to like try to make as much videos as I can, and
Let's see.
you know, like
Here's my thing. Before I say this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and be part
Yeah,
of the
hit
Yo
the
Check It
buttons
tribe.
down there.
Also, follow us on Instagram, DM us or something. Anyway, back to what you were saying. So, I feel like,
sometimes you just gotta let shit go.
but also like, I guess I'm just trying to put a different layer to what you were saying. Maybe add a bottom layer.
Yeah.
But like, so you're saying you dream big, you achieve little, or something of that nature, or maybe not.
Yeah. Maybe like I don't hit it.
But fall short. Maybe that's a better.
Yeah.
Fall short of the actual goal. But think about it this way: there's some people who don't even have the capacity to dream.
Yeah. Which is
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
why and for me that's the thing that is like I'm like grateful for.
Yeah.
Like gratitude is like a big thing too. So if you're not even like thankful for anything, like you should look into
some
that.
people don't even have. Some people haven't even realized that they can have a dream, or you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that they're able to envision something like a bigger goal. Some people don't even can't even get there, bro. So
Yeah.
Harder, yeah.
Because I think you should just like have a goal, but then like if you don't hit it, like it's cool, but at least you kind of move towards that goal, you know.
take the L.
Take the L.
Taking lots of L's, fam.
But
Taking
progress
lots of
is
L's.
still progress.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how small it is, like it's always a step, no matter how big or small it is.
Yeah, I
towards
think the
whatever you
important
wanna
thing is you got to
achieve.
take that step, because like
Mhm.
if you don't even, let's say if you don't set that goal for yourself, like you're not gonna do anything, you know. Like if I didn't like, oh, I want to hit 10,000 by this time. Like if I didn't make that, I didn't make that goal for myself, I would have been just like,
You wouldn't have
Yeah.
gotten to 5,000.
yeah,
Or 6,000. You know what I'm
like
saying?
I would have just like chilled and like maybe just like make one video a week or something, you know.
Yeah, not actually
Um,
push yourself. So.
But if you make that goal, be like, hey, I want to lose weight, in like 3 months, like I want to lose like 28 pounds or something. Like that's what happened to me. Like I set that goal, be like 3 months, 28 pounds, and I did it very extreme, and I don't recommend it at all. But I did it. Like it was like my goal. I had like a tunnel vision. I was like, that's what I want. I'm gonna do it, even though like it's very extreme and it's not very sustainable way to lose weight. Yeah,
But still, the fact that you kept your focus on that was
yeah.
the main point.
And like everybody has different goals. Like if you just wanna like live a simple life, just chill, that's cool too. Like don't don't listen to anybody else.
Yeah, don't let anyone define you and your life.
Which is very contradicting because we're telling you what to do, basically. But then don't listen to me. Like, you know, like I have my own dreams, my own goals. That's my own thing. Like they have their own dreams, they have their own goals. So, you know.
Don't take anything I say seriously. Nothing I say is true. Everything on Instagram's a lie. I'm just kidding.
The internet's a lie. This is all a lie.
I'm a hologram.
Everyone just disappears.
Yeah, add the effects, bro.
Oh yeah.
I'm just
Ready,
a
ready?
hologram. I'm really in my room. This is CGI Rafi.
He is.
Any final thoughts for everybody before we end this podcast?
Here's a final thought. I think we need to say belated happy birthday to JERiCK.
Yeah.
Belated.
My dude just turned. Okay, am I allowed to say how old you are?
21?
Yeah, 20,
Damn,
21.
Let's go 21. All right, 21.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be 21, man?
Feels good, dude. I think I feel the same for the past few birthdays I've had.
Does it feel the same as 27?
Yeah.
Because you said you turned 27 earlier and then now you're 21.
Yeah.
Mm.
It just
Oh, yeah,
rewinds
no.
back, you know. When you're mentally strong, your
you can
body
make yourself
just
de-age yourself.
You can
Yeah.
literally just time travel right now.
I'm traveling 10 years ago.
All right, I'm going to be my 2007 self version.
Oh my god, where were we all in 2007?
I was still
Comment below.
I was super scared.
I was out there battling motherfuckers on the dance floor.
In middle
Popping
school.
I was
Squirtles,
literally in
man.
high school, like,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, getting in dudes' faces. Oh my God.
I
You
can see
remember
that.
those days, JERiCK?
Yeah.
Remember when I would dance battle at, like, church parking lot and my head would be steaming and all the homies would be like, yo, your head's steaming.
God, that's hilarious.
Sorry, too much. Anyways.
But yeah, any final thoughts, Brandon?
Final thoughts. Always work on yourself. We're always a constant work in progress. So do something at least every single day to make yourself better, you know? And yeah, don't beat yourself up like JERiCK was saying. We can always reflect on our past and do a lot of self-reflection, but that only helps us if we take what we can learn from those experiences and just push yourself to grow even more going forward.
Yeah.
Last words. Your mind is like, I know everyone says it's a super computer because it is, but you have an unlimited capacity of an information you can obtain. It's just about picking what information is useful, you think is useful for yourself. So just like we talk about in earlier podcasts, everything you consume is part of your diet, visual as well. So just feed your mind things that you know will help you grow. The other thing is your body is literally a battery. Go charge it out in nature and reflect on yourself.
Nice. I like those.
Drop the beer. Just kidding.
Last thoughts for me. Just don't listen to like outside negativity, you know? Make sure you're like self-aware and just like you know your truth and just like stay in your own head. Don't let any outside sources to tell you what to do, what to think.
Don't change the channel.
Yeah. That's it. Cool. We're done.
Wait, that's not it. What he meant to say was, please keep watching yocheckit videos and subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah, don't forget to like, comment,
subscribe, and be part of the Yo Check It tribe.
Hey.
Yeah. Peace.